What's going on, guys? Welcome back or welcome to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to effectively create a simple and easy YouTube thumbnail with Photoshop. If that sounds good to you, stick around and let's get into the tutorial.
It's time to
imagination.
Alright, so now that we're in Photoshop, yours will probably look different to mine. If you already have projects, then they'll be listed down here, or it will look like this and they'll be along like this. But if you do not, that's completely fine. It won't change anything whatsoever. You want to start off by going to New File, and then you may have a few of these here which are recent items, but if you don't, that's completely fine. You can always just create a new one. So you want to go to the width here, and you want to change that to 1280. Then you want to change the height here to 720. Now before we press create, we're going to go to this little button here, which will then save document preset, and I'm just going to name that YT. Now we can go ahead and save that preset. I'm not going to because I already have one saved, but you'd go save preset, then you can go to saved, and then it'll be right here. I have mine, which is thumbnail. Where I'm going to press create, and now we have a nice beautiful blank canvas. You want to press the Z key to zoom out and then in by dragging left and right with your mouse. You can then press the H key, which is the hand tool, to move around the actual project like this. Now I'm going to start off by bringing in 3 assets which I already acquired earlier to doing this. Alright, so as you can see, I have a Photoshop logo, Photoshop background, and a nice red arrow. And you can unhide and hide these layers by just toggling these eyes in the bottom right here. As you can see, when I press it and it's activated with that little eye icon, you can see it is present. When I unclick it, then it is not, etc, etc. I'm going to start off by, I'm going to blur this screen here. You can press Control and T to resize layers by dragging. You can also press left shift to resize it to any size you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then press enter to confirm it. Now we have it matched to the dimensions. Actually, no, it's not perfectly matched. Let me just oversize it a bit. I'm now going to go ahead to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I think, yeah, 3 should be good. So now we have a blurred Photoshop background. I'm not going to add any effects yet. I'm going to first off do the basic layers of this, and then I'm going to add effects, which I would recommend doing unless you're doing stroke, which is what I'm going to be doing as well. So I'm going to then unhide the Photoshop logo. I'm going to select it. You want to make sure you select it before editing it, or else it won't work. Control T again to resize it. Now to get rid of a solid background, you can press the W key, which brings up the magic wand tool, and then just click and press delete. As you can see, I have gotten rid of my background. I'm also gonna press the effects FX in the bottom right, and it will bring up all of these. Any of them you can add. I'm gonna go with stroke. I'm gonna add a white stroke, and if you go here, you can do the different sizes. I'm gonna do maybe 12. I think should be good. So now we have a nice little Photoshop logo. And then the red arrow, we cannot forget about the red arrow. Press W again. Remember, I need to select the red arrow. I had that selected and it didn't work. Press W, key, delete. And there we go. I'm going to do the same thing with adding the white stroke. Now we have this. And if you want to make something go above another layer, you can just drag it on top like so. So now the red arrow is on top of the Photoshop logo. So now we have this. You may be thinking this looks very, very boring. Don't worry, we're going to add some extra things in just a minute. I'm going to start off by pressing T, which brings up the text tool right here. And I'm just going to select a nice font. You can download custom fonts, and I will put a good website in the link in the description called DaFont, which you can just download, install, and Photoshop will take care of it for you. All right, so I've found a nice font. Right, which one is it? This one here. So we have how to create thumbnail. I'm actually going to capitalize each word here, just so it looks a little bit more presentable. I'm also going to change the color of this thumbnail part right here. Now, you may be wondering, how do I do that without changing the color of the other text? You can simply just delete it and change the color to whatever you want. I'm going to do a light green color. And as you can see, automatically changes it for you. And as you can see, it is now green. Press tick there. We now have how to create thumbnail. Now it looks a bit basic. I'm going to add a black stroke. Can't really add a white stroke to it because it wouldn't look too presentable. There we go. I think that looks very nice, simple, very nice indeed. Get rid of that layer. And it also stands out much more now due to that stroke and the green text here. Now it still looks a bit basic. I'm gonna go ahead and size up everything now. And in fact, I'm actually gonna bring in a different asset quickly. All right, so I've just grabbed a YouTube logo here. We're gonna press W again for the magic wand tool. Press on here and delete. And then you also, I forgot to mention, you wanna press Control D, the deselect away from that. We have this. I'm gonna go ahead, add another stroke. You know the drill. Make it white. Stands out nice and well. And if you want to lock a layer, you can press this button here and it will lock it, meaning you cannot change it at all, which is very useful for backgrounds. All right, so now that I've done a bit of layering and strokes and everything like that, I'm now gonna add some outer glow. I'm gonna start off by adding some outer glow to the YouTube logo. Outer glow. And then obviously you can mess around with these here. I'm just gonna bring that down a little bit. So we have a little glow here. I'm also gonna add one to the red arrow. But I think I'm gonna make it red instead. And to finish everything off, I'm just gonna convert everything to a smart layer. And then I'm also gonna merge all of them down and then add a nice camera raw filter. So I've flattened everything down into one image here. And then I'm gonna go to filter, camera raw filter. And then as you can see, this is it looks very, very complicated. Trust me, it isn't that complicated. You just kind of need to mess around with the exposure, contrast, etc. Then the color is very, very important, I've found as well. So I'm just going to bring that up a bit, turn the highlights up, maybe bring the shadowing down a bit, turn the white up, turn the black up as well. Now this is very important. The vibrance and saturation plays such a massive part in this as well. Now that I'm seeing it, the red arrow glow is definitely way too much. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel yes. And then I'm going to press Control Z, which undoes. That's very important to note as well, because quite a lot of the time you will make a mistake in something and you just want to change a little bit of it. And that's just very, very useful to do. Then again, I am just going to flatten the image. Again, filter. Then we go to camera raw filter and then do the editing once again. All right, so I've made all my changes in the camera raw filter section. I'm gonna press OK. And now we have a nice looking thumbnail. And to export it, you just go to File, Export, Quick Export as PNG, and then you can save in any directory you want.